Welcome back for more Comancheria, my new gaming obsession. I wanted to say thank you to folks who have been leaving comments, especially folks who have been leaving comments to help me sort of fix some of the rules mistakes I've been making. It's been super helpful. One of them is that these guys actually start on 2, so that's been fixed both here. It's also fixed in the public TTS module. I think I got it confused with this when I was setting it up. But we're back to play this again. This is not the... I've tried this again a couple of times, and it's gone spectacularly badly. In fact, I managed one time to lose it on the war party phase of the second activation of the game when a raid got loose and basically through a series of bad die rolls and bad decisions, wiped out Comancheria A on essentially the second activation of the game. So I am still trying to, my goal is I want to see what the game looks like when you get past history card 1, which I confess I've never done. I've did it once when I was succeeding at the first scenario, but I've never done it and then continued playing. So, okay. So no war party phase to start off here. So we are going to start by doing a take actions operation, and we will activate this band. And we will have it move 1, hunt for 3, and 1 to go back. So pretty standard opening there. And then we'll have this guy take 2 horses and the Mahimiana. And they're going to move 1, 2. And this is one change I'm making from how I've done this a lot of times, which is... I'm going to target this tribe, not this tribe, because I feel like I'd like to, in a planning operation, see if I could move my Comancheria there, which I think is a little bit sort of more advantageous. So I'm moving 2 spaces, and then I'm raiding. So we're going to raid here now. I'm rolling a die to see if I draw any extra. On a 1, I'll draw 2 extra. With a 2, I'll draw 1 extra. I'm not drawing any extra. So we're simply drawing 2 for the size of the war party, and great. Absolutely fantastic start. So we're going to raid one more time, because if I leave with absolutely no success, that will be unfortunate. Well, this time we get to draw 4, and this cup is much more in my favor right now. So let's see some good luck here. All right, not terrible. 2 successes. So those go there. I get to place a ravaged marker. Just 1 though, unfortunately. And then I'm going to draw a captive and a horse. Now the captive I'm going to spend, the horse I'm going to spend in order to be able to move 1, 2 back to my Comancheria. So we're going to basically come back just with a captive. So that is the end of my operation. Gotta remember to move that at that point. Now we are doing the cleanup. So we'll sort of unspool all of these things. And that looks like that. So now we go to operations cleanup. So we roll a die. We've got 2 finished bands. So we'll see if anybody gets a free operation, and they do. So who gets a free operation? So the west is going to go, but they are going to flip this over to peace. That's a pretty good result there. But their free activation is actually subjugate. Now, of course, with the War of Austrian Succession on the board, or Spanish Succession on the board, I mean, they actually ignore that. So that will simply reset to there. So now I'm going to draw 1 of these and see what I get. They get a bunch more activations. And now we're going to find out who's doing the main bulk of the enemy instructions this turn. So that is going to be the south. Oh, Lord, that gets ugly down there at the bottom, doesn't it? All right. So the south is going to do a settle action. 3 APs. And with a settle action, let me see. Okay. So it's going to be the so basically it's going to be the closest. So, but it has to follow stacking. So it's either going to be this space or this space. So usually here, choose randomly. Sorry, just checking what that notification was to see if it was anything important. Choose the space with the lowest value. So that would be this one. So the green, my southern enemies, Spain, are going to place a settlement down here. This is a little bad because if they get down into these culture markers, they can drain my culture incredibly fast. The good news, I don't think they're going to get there right now, but that was not particularly great. So next up, spend 4 for subjugate, but of course they ignore that. Oh my God, they're going to settle again. Oh, this is really bad. So the problem right now is this game is going to be on a knife's edge the entire time, because if the green gets going and gets into these cultures, like, they're going to drain my culture like 3 every time. So, and I don't really have a good way of getting down here and doing anything about these. Like, that's a long ride to try and place some subjugation markers here. Oh shoot, I always do that. Take my horsemanship card. Forgot to do that. Let's see. I may need to use that card to get rid of these guys. That Ute Alliance card to get rid of these guys. Okay. And then the, and I did give them their 1 extra. So then the last thing that we're going to do is spend that, and we're going to do, it's going to be peace. So I'm pretty sure peace markers. They don't have a war column in the enemy's square space. So we place that peace marker right there. They had 1 change left over. So that is that. So, like, literally, you can see the problem I've got here is if green gets selected to go again, like, they're going to drain 9 culture. Like, if they get selected next turn, like, there's virtually nothing I can do to prevent losing this game at this point. So, like, if I roll a 6 for the enemy again, like, I had a 16% chance every time I play another turn for this to go extremely badly. I'm noticing I forgot to move this again. Of course I did. So I don't know why that never gets stuck in my head. Okay. So that is all of that. We've reset that. We've done everything. So now it's back around to our turn. So again, still no war parties on the board. So now I'm going to go ahead and take advantage and do a planning phase. Try and improve my Mahi Miana a little bit and my Paraibo a little bit. So let's go. I'm never going to remember the entire procedure here, so let's just look it up. Every Mahi Miana with +1 success, I get 1. So he gets 1. Then we do this process where I move 1 down, and then I move 1 over. And since I only have 2, I basically stop there. Now I've got 1 on him, so I can increase his medicine by 1. And now I think I get to do headman actions. So this is an interesting question. I'd love to roll and get at least 2 actions, but it's a big risk because I'd really love to get this card into my hand. Well, I'm going to... Oh, this is... Oh, shoot. Hang on. Wait a minute. If I could... oh, no. I haven't gotten there yet. Okay. Well, let's try it. We're going to roll to see how... I'm just going to take my one headman action. I'm sorry. I'm just going to take my one headman action, and I'm going to spend my 1 AP to buy this Ute Alliance card. And I'm going to just play it right away. And I'm going to play it to try to remove this. Wow, I put a bunch of extras over there for some reason. I'm going to try to remove this settlement. So on a roll of 3 through 6, I remove that settlement. Well, that's very bad. Okay. So I roll for any Mahimiana with a medicine rating of 0. I don't have any of those. Finished band strength are reduced by 1 and marked as unfinished. So both of these guys go back, and I get they're unfinished, but they are now 1 strength bands. Now I can move my Rancheria. And so I am going to move my Rancheria to there. Okay. Enemy gets 1 free instruction. If this is green, the game is over. Oh, God. That. Oh. Sorry. Doing the wrong one. Okay. So there you get. Their 1 free instruction is a raid. But they're probably just going to remove that Ravage marker. They are. Now, I realize... Now, I got to remember to do this. So they get a roll. So on a 4 through a 6, they don't actually remove that Ravage token, that Ravage counter. But in this case, they succeed and remove that Ravage marker. Okay. And then that goes back down there. Okay. So then we move this down. Oh, and that goes back into the draw cup. So now we're here, and we could end up having to do passage of time at any moment. So, but first off, we do actually get a turn, and we're going to take it. So, we are going to take this band. Sorry, let's do this correctly. We are going to take this band and this set of captives, and let's see. And 2 horses. You know what? No. I'm just going to take this band, the bison and the captives, and a set of horses. So I was thinking about whether I should send him here and get a new rancheria into play, but I think that's just extending myself too far right now. So we're going to move him to here. And then we're going to do a trade action. So, just got to remind myself how trade action works. Where are you? 1 MP per resource spent. So okay. So I must spend any bison captives. So 1 MP. So I move 1. I may actually not trade that bison. And then I'm going to spend 1 AP, oops, to trade the captives for food. Yeah, we're going to trade the bison. So it takes 2 MPs to trade the bison. 1 AP for the trade action and 1 because it's not a captive. So we're going to do that. And then with our last AP, we're going to move back to Rancheria A and mark them as finished. Now the second group with the Mahimiana is going to move here, and now we're going to start raiding. So we spent 1 MP to move, and we're going to raid. So now we've got 3, so a little better chance of getting extra draws. Didn't happen there. Sometimes this game, man, so frustrating. So frustrating. Still drawn 2. All right, well, we get a success. Place a ravaged counter. We're going to raid one last time. Ugh. 5 out of 6 draws were enemy APs. Oh, you know what? I forgot to take something. I think I'm going to take a horses with that first one. Sorry, I should have done that beforehand. I apologize. But I'm going to take a horses and I'm going to do this again. Because this cup right now is just full of success counters. And I'm not drawing any of them. So I've got to draw them here, right? So now I'm drawing 4. This is going to be 3 success markers, right? Right, cup? Well, that is truly, truly awful. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, Lord. But we'll draw a horse. No, we'll draw 2 captives. And then we'll spend the horse here to move back. All right, so now we got to roll. On a 1 to a 3, we're moving straight to passage of time. So on a 3, our next action has to be passage of time. So unfortunately, we won't get a chance to use all of those success markers to improve our medicine. But on the other hand, if we don't end up having the north enemy activate, then we could end up taking that settlement off the board. Okay, but unfortunately, we have a huge number of enemy APs to deal with. But before we do that, we are doing you know, I realized, I think on the last turn I screwed up because I did planning and then I did this like free planning and then I forgot to do the operation cleanup phase, which would have had me drawing an AP to see if they got a turn. I'm not going to go back, but I just noting that I like, even when you do planning, you still got to do that operations cleanup, and there's still a chance that you could end up doing something. So anyway, this is for the free activation. I have 2 unfinished bands, so they don't get a free activation. So now I really don't want this to be the north. I don't want it to be the west, though. Sorry, I don't want it to be the south, though. So it's the west. All right. So that one flips. So first things first, they spend 4, and they're going to do this peace action. So we'll place that peace in that space. Then they're going to spend 4 more, and they're going to do this settle action. I think I'd remember this because I literally just did it. So I find the nearest settlement. If it's tied, it's lowest. So these would have a problem with stacking, so basically they're going to go to there. And they're going to eliminate that bison. Okay. Then we have 3 for war, but we ignore that because of the War of Spanish Succession. We have another peace, so I don't know if it replaces it, because that one is a peace 4. Peace. Yeah, replace any greater. Okay, so basically this goes here and replaces this. It's a little less peaceful then. And then we have subjugate, which is an instruction we ignore, and we have subjugate, which is an instruction we ignore, and then we're going to add 4 more enemy APs over here. And then we ratchet this around. Now, unfortunately, all those subjugates are going to happen because I'm about to lose the War of Spanish Succession. Okay. That is that. So then we loop back to my turn, in which case I have to do a passage of time. So mark all in-play bands as unfinished, sorry. And then I can spend resources to create new band counters. So I'm going to spend 1 resource point to create 1 new band counter, a new 1/6. And then I can spend to increase the strength of band counters. So I'm going to spend both of my food, and essentially I'm going to just increase all of these by 1. So we'll have 3, 2, 5, and 1, 3, 4 counter. Pretty beefy rancheria at this point. I can place a new rancheria, but I don't have a lone band out there. I can voluntarily retire any Mahimiana. I might as well. We'll just, so that way my medicine for my Paraibo stays at 3. So now we roll a die for each in play, but I don't have anybody who wasn't retired, so I'm not rolling for anybody. And then I roll to find out what this Mahimiana's medicine is. So basically half of this roll. So he's a 2, so that's not too bad. Not terrible, that result. Return all success counters. So these go back, and that goes back. So now that is back to being fully stocked. Each tribe settlement with +1 ravaged is removed. So that is going to end up removing this tribe. These will all come off the board. And I don't lose a military point because 1 was removed. Then I roll a die for each peace and ally counter. So I've got a peace counter here and a peace counter here. So we're going to roll red and green. If they are think it's, well, we'll check in a second. So pretty sure yellow stays, but green goes. Greater than the AP cost. So green goes back, but yellow stays. Okay. Moving along. Randomly select a territory and place one bison in that territory. Oh, well, that was nice. So place a bison there. So I can do some hunting for that bison. Discard all cards in development spaces. So we discard all of these. None of them have any instructions for what you do when you're discarded. So we get an epidemic. Select one random map space in each territory. In each selected space, band strength -1. Remove any tribe counter. All right, so this is going to take a second. So let's deal with region 1 first. Or territory 1 first. So if I don't roll a 2, well, let's see. Don't roll a 2. All right, so I've rolled a 3, so that's this. So nothing happens. If I'd rolled a 5, something would have happened. All right, so now we're going to roll. So this is going to be for territory 2, territory 3, territory 4. So in territory 2, it is 1. So that tribe is removed, correct? I read that correctly. Wow, this can wipe off the board, can't it? Remove any tribe counter. Okay. Then in 3, it's territory 2. And then in 4, it's territory... Yeah, sorry, it's 4. Which one is 4? 4, it's 4, but that's got a bison, so that does not get wiped out. And then this is for 5, and this is for 6. So in 5, it is territory 5, which is just a bison, and then 2 wipes out that tribe. Wow. Sorry, buddies. Nasty. Now, I got to remember this. At the end of each take actions op, only take actions ops, though, I select one random space. My second development, that was an eventful development card. Spend 1 AP to take into hand during planning options. So when you play war column, war ends. Okay. Maybe. Things get dire. Conduct step 12 of the passage of time procedure. Oh, I think that's... I get to place another bison. Is my guess. Oops. Yeah. Get to place a bison. So select a territory. 5. Oh, sorry, territory 5. No, yo, that is this. There is no place for it to go. So when that happens, I think I just get to remove it and place it somewhere of my choosing. So I'm going to remove this one and place it in Upper Arkansas. A lot of bison up in my territory at this point, so that's maybe a good thing. Don't know. That is all of the culture cards, or yeah, the development cards. Sorry. I can purchase one culture card, but boy, I don't want to spend any culture right now. Then I place operations there. I move that to there. That goes into that cup. Don't you dare come out, though. Piss me off. And then I go to operations cleanup. I mean, this is what I always forget. See, I forgot that there. Go to operations cleanup. So, I don't have to unstack anything. There's no unfinished band. So really, the only thing we do here is I draw 1. So he gets they get 4 APs to spend. Now I gotta remember though, they actually have 10 APs to spend. They've got quite a lot here. So the north is gonna go, and the north is gonna raid. So first things first, ally. So they're gonna spend 3 APs on an ally counter, which we're gonna place right here. Then we're going to spend 3, and we're going to do this raid. So let me just remind myself. Pretty sure I put a 3 band in they don't have it. No ravaged. Place raid structure in the same space as randomly chosen non-allied tribe nearest to a rancheria. Okay, so the raid was a 3. So who is closest? This is an allied tribe, so it's not going to be them. So these guys are 1, 2, 3 away. These guys are 1, 2, 3 away. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it chosen randomly? Randomly chosen nearest to rancheria. Okay, so 1, 2, just a reminder, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these guys are close because they can use this, they can use that dashed line. So. Three. So that he's going to go into that space. So that is on the board now. And then the next one is they spend 4, so that's going to drain their APs in the bank for an encroach action. It's lots of spaces because of the epidemic. So, 1. Oh, you bastards. All right, so I got to figure out where I want to put this. And I think I'm going to put it here in Upper Arkansas. So the problem with that, of course, is that now makes it much harder to control this territory, which is part of my victory check objectives. All right, so that is the end of Operations Cleanup. So I have successfully completed my passage of time. With that, we're at the half-hour mark here, so that's a good time for us to end the video. Thanks for tuning in again. Cross fingers that this actually ever makes it up onto YouTube, because I want to try to get past History Card 1. I'm not sure it's a very auspicious start for that, but we'll see. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, it'd be great if you could leave a like, leave comments. Definitely leave comments if I'm doing things wrong in terms of the rules. That's very helpful for me and probably for others who are trying to learn the game as well. And if you're enjoying the channel, it would be great if you could subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when we produce new content. But with that, we will end this video, and we'll see you next time for more Comancheria on Agility Snips Gaming Table.